Hi, it's Anne-Marie from Charmed Life Therapy again. Please do hit like and subscribe if you enjoy my content at all. I was just going to talk today about something interesting that I noticed yesterday. A little mind pings with all kinds of things at different times, and I was just when I'm getting washed and dressed on a morning, I tend to have Spotify going, the free version because I'm too cheap for the paid version. But yes, I get the adverts. So yeah, and I just happened to come across this advert in the middle of getting ready, and it was for BetterHelp. This mental health app. I think it's online therapy and tools and the rest of it. It's like a paid subscription, I guess. Not knocking this thing whatsoever, but what was just really interesting to me, and what I'm aware of now more and more all of the time, is what my subconscious mind will be doing or hearing with all of the things that it comes into contact with in this life. You know, that subconscious mind is always switched on and listening. It runs 95% of what's going on with you. So it's processing everything you're doing, seeing, feeling, hearing, tasting, touching, every tiny bit of information that's coming at you from all angles. It's what processes it all, what stores it all. It's all locked in there, trying to decide whether it's useful or not to you for future relevance. So I'm just hearing this with my conscious mind, and it tweaked something else in me. So this advert for BetterHelp, the tagline at the end was, your first month is free. And that kind of resonated in my mind, and I thought, oh yeah, that's kind of interesting, isn't it? Because your conscious mind is the mind that tracks the numbers and the logic and first and second and third and the rest of it. And it thinks in a nice straight line and likes things laid out in order. It likes order, logic, routine, planning, systems. It likes all of that, does your conscious mind. So your left side of your brain, whereas your subconscious mind is all about feeling and dreaming and, you know, just the bigger picture and being universally connected and, you know, all of that thing. You know, it's not really interested in like the day-to-day running of like numbers and things that are a more human concept. Your subconscious mind is quite spiritual and woo-woo, whether you like woo-woo or not. I'm sorry, a big part of you is woo-woo. So yeah, conscious mind is hearing your first month is free, which sounds like a really good idea. And you might go off and go download the app or whatever it is. And I don't know, maybe you have to give over your credit card information even though your first month is free. I don't know, I'm imagining it's something like that. And I imagine there's a big chunk of people that hit that barrier and think, oh no, I just want that free month. I don't want to give over my credit card details. I don't want to make that commitment. Now that you may or may not have to do that with BetterHelp, I don't know, but I can imagine for some people that's what happens. And then kind of you've got your conscious mind going on, and your conscious mind hears this statement, your first month is free. And bear in mind, it doesn't really process that idea of first. And it doesn't really understand the concept of what a month is, if you like it, either, because it doesn't track time, so it's not aware of time. So it just gets this sense of this is something you can do that's ever evolving. That's like, ooh, there's no like real, yeah, it sounds like a good idea, but it's not thinking in terms of this is going to help you solve your problem in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. It's not thinking that there's some finite term on it, if you like. Subconscious mind, if you go direct to your subconscious mind and give it a clear directive, it will just start working on that straight away, because it's not thinking, oh, I might tackle that tomorrow or the next day or the next week, because it's not paying attention to any of that. You just give it that clear directive and off it goes. Whereas conscious mind is the mind that likes the idea of time. So subconscious mind is just thinking, oh, this is going to take months and 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 months. You know what I mean? It's not thinking, I'm going to give this 3 months and see how it goes. And if I'm not getting value from it, then I'm going to knock it on the head. And this concept of having an app, it's, you know, no doubt about it, it will definitely be useful for some people. But if you're wanting like a solution to a problem, you want to surely know how long that solution is going to take to help you. So you offer, you know, subconscious mind, something like that. It's just like, oh, it's just going to be a part of our life now. So you probably will have that subscription forever and a day, and you'll either use it and get your money's worth out of it, or you won't, or it'll just sit there like a gym membership you don't use or something. So it kind of, if you're going to take on board something like that, unless you're going to just decide that it's going to be a long-term part of your life and you'll just tap into it as and when you need it, it may be an entirely wasted expense, because it's not going to give you a deadline for when that help has been, you know, and everything's sorted out. Whereas if you use something like hypnotherapy and rapid transformational therapy, we're still not tracking time, but we just get your subconscious mind to crack on with it straight away. We give it that little pivot point in its mind where we say, look, that thing you've been doing, it's not really been helping us. I know you're doing it for some positive reason that you think we're getting some kind of gain from it, but it actually feels terrible to live with on a day-to-day basis. So can you please just do this instead now? And subconscious mind, because it wants to help you, just goes, oh sure, fine, let's do that instead. So you've got a choice to make, I guess. And like I say, I don't discount the use of these kinds of apps and talk therapy. But I may have said it before in one of these videos, where talk therapy works really well is when you get to that real crisis point and you're so upset that you've drained all of the emotions during your session. You've hit rock bottom, you've ploughed the depths, you've bawled your eyes out, and you get to that point where there's no energy whatsoever, bad or good, attached to whatever the thing was that you were dealing with. So you've like used up all of the energy, so there's no heightened emotion to it left because you've spent it all. And in that moment, your mind, your subconscious mind, will process it as no longer useful because there's not that pain point attached to it anymore. In that moment, you've managed to neutralize all of the energy. And your subconscious mind goes off and thinks, oh, well, we don't need that anymore. But for many people, talking about it and having counselling, you're just regurgitating the same things over and over and over again, every week, every month, however often you go. And for some people, that will be embedding those things deeper in your psyche as a part of you, as something that's you were born with, that's attached to you, that you can't get rid of, that's handed down from mum and grandmum and all of the rest of it, you know. So I would always encourage people to look at whatever they're doing in terms of wellness and think, what's the value I'm getting here? Am I making progress, or is it just something that I quite enjoy having in my life and tapping into, and it kind of keeps me just plodding along and feeling okay, but I'm not really solving the issue, but I'm happy with that. If that's for you, then that's absolutely fine. But if you're kind of a person that really does just want a solution to what's going on, that wants to know that they don't have to worry about the first month being free because they'll be paying for month 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know what I mean? So if you really want a solution that doesn't even really have a finite end date, if you like, because your mind just gets working on it straight away, so there's not even a chance to put a date on it or a time on it, if you like. If you just want a solution that's going to get your subconscious mind working on it straight away and occupied with doing that, while your conscious mind can do whatever the heck it likes, basically, then you really might want to try considering hypnotherapy and rapid transformational therapy, because all it really needs is a bit of willpower on your part to just use that recording afterwards. With rapid transformational therapy, at least we have that session and resolve the issues, reset you to baseline, and send you off with this recording that gives you all the new beliefs you want to have. And really all you need to do is listen to that recording every day, like a bit of homework, for 3 weeks. And that gives your mind chance to rewire in some new connections and some new thought processes, some new beliefs about yourself. So it's just having that willingness to do that. And when people come to me, the best thing for me is that you don't need to come back to me, or that if you do come back to me, it's like maybe 2, 3, 4 months down the line when some new little bit of something has come to light, or you're facing a new challenge, or it's unlocked a different part of you and you'd like to explore that. We don't want you come in and say, I can give you your first month for free and you're on my books then as a long-term option. We kind of really do want to make that change. That's the point of working with your subconscious mind and doing it on that level, that we deal with it and it's done and you're not regurgitating it back to yourself anymore. So one thing will appeal to one person and one thing will appeal to another. But just it does pay to walk around and just be aware of the language that you hear around you, and what your subconscious mind might be taking from that, in terms of it doesn't track time and it doesn't hear this 1 session, 2 session, 3 session, 1 month, 2 month, 3 months. It just thinks, oh, this is something we're just gonna do. And do. You know what I mean? So if you're looking for a solution that kind of, without even talking in terms of numbers, will get it done faster, then you probably might want to consider something like Rapid Transformational Therapy and get straight to the source of what's going on. Because the thing is, many things that you're dealing with, your conscious mind won't even know what the real source of that is, because it only knows what you consciously remember, what you can bring to mind. And you won't bring to mind the things that happen between 0 and 3, which is quite commonly when it is, often between 0 and 7, but more commonly even as young as like 3 years old, or sitting in a pram, or, oh, you won't believe what comes out of your subconscious mind that's really, really impacted you. So you imagine you can go do all the talk therapy that you like, you're never going to remember that memory of being in the pram at the bottom of the garden, nobody paying attention to you and you crying your lungs out. You're not consciously going to remember that one. So if you're struggling and you've been doing this thing of months and months and months, and you kind of walk out of your appointment or close down your app and you feel a little bit better, but that relief doesn't last very long, then you really might want to consider some targeted hypnotherapy instead. So that's it. That's, in a nutshell, what your subconscious mind thinks about time and what it hears when you try and convince it of time. So yeah, like I say, please do consider liking, subscribing, follow along with this page. I talk all things well-being, emotional and physical, and just my take on what's going on in the world around us too sometimes. And there's always free help in the description, so please do consider reading this description and exploring some of those options too. Thank you.